presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Buffalo. We are Minnesota.
Fans flocking into Target Field to see their first-place Minnesota Twins opening game of a three-game series and a nice, long homestand. The Twins are in front of the White Sox by a game in the American League Central, thanks to their taking 2 out of 3 in Chicago over the week. And we welcome you to Target Field for Milam and Dick Bramer. This is Target Field, huh? Seems like it's been forever since we've been here.
Turn around, it's pretty nice.
It's very, very nice. Twins just finishing a stretch that some thought might be the toughest stretch for the Twins since they were chased out of town by the political convention a couple of years ago. 20 games, 17 on the road, but they passed with flying colors.
Boy, did they ever. I mean, you look over the 20 ball games for the Minnesota Twins. They are 15-5, and on the road so far after the All-Star break, 12-5. Not bad. They now have a 1-game lead over the Chicago White Sox. How have they done it? Hey, they've averaged over 6 runs per game scored. The hitting has been outstanding. The pitching has even been better.
And the starting pitching has had its peaks and valleys, but the one guy who's been consistent throughout is tonight's starting pitcher.
Well, you can see over the 12 starts, 89 1/3 innings. He has averaged over 7 innings a start. That's unlike really in today's game. This guy's a workhorse. He wants to go deep into the ball game. Over his last 12 starts, you can see 9-1, very good ERA, making his third career start against the Oakland A's.
Might get some votes for the Cy Young Award this year as a candidate from the Minnesota Twins. When we come back, we'll honor one Cy Young Award winner who wore a Twins uniform, Frank Viola, one of the Twins' 50 greatest. Baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By GMC. We are professional grade. And by Budweiser. Want to go home with me tonight? I'm the designated driver. Budweiser. Responsibility matters.
What a great night for baseball at Target Field as the Twins kick off a 9-game homestand here against the Oakland A's in downtown Minneapolis. Welcome to Twins Baseball on Fox Sports North. Thanks for joining us. I'm Robbie Mikowski. In honor of the Twins' 50th season in Minnesota, they are honoring their 50 greatest. Tonight we honor the MVP of the 1987 World Series, former pitcher Frank Viola. And here to tell his story is his son, Frank Viola Jr., who is now a pitcher for the St. Paul Saints.
Frank Viola was the Twins' #2 draft pick in 1981 out of St. John's University, where he was an All-American. He started only 23 minor league games before getting called up the following spring. Along with Viola, the class of 1982 featured fellow rookies such as Ken Hrbek, Tom Bernansky, and Gary Gaetti, a group that would be the nucleus of the organization's revitalization. Frankie was known for his superstitions like eating pasta before every start and for his outgoing personality and high-pitched laugh. On the mound, he had the game's best changeup, and his dominance earned him the nickname Sweet Music. In 8 seasons in Minnesota, Frank won 112 games, 17 of those in 1987 when he led the Twins to a division title. Viola was great in the regular season and divine in the playoffs. He bested the Cardinals in games 1 and 7 of the Fall Classic and was named MVP of the World Series. 87 was a year of team triumph, but 1988 was filled with individual honors. Viola won 24 games and was baseball's best pitcher. He became only the second Twin to win the Cy Young Award. Bert Blyleven, former teammate, Twins analyst.
Of course, Bert Blyleven, a teammate of Frank's on the 87 World Series championship team. Ladies and gentlemen, it's stash time. Carl Pavano on the mound when we come back.
Minnesota, they were staring at a dangerous road trip that could define their season. 12 days later, Minnesota returns home with the Central Division lead and a confidence that they can take on anyone. Tonight, it's the first of 9 straight at home. With their ace on the mound, Minnesota set to continue its torrid second half against the A's. And Joe Mauer and the Twins hoping to have a good homestand after a very good road trip and a very good 3-week stretch that has seen them go from 4.5 games back to the lead now in the American League Central.
Yeah, nice ovation right here by the hometown crowd welcoming their men back.
And the Menards batting order for the Oakland A's. Coco Crisp leading things off. Twins didn't see him when they were playing out in the West Coast earlier this year. Derek Barton, Kurt Suzuki, Jack Cust, Kevin Kuzminoff, Mark Ellis, Rajai Davis, Chris Carter, and Cliff Pennington.
And the Dodge Ram scouting report on Carl Pavano making his 24th start of the year, looking for his 15th win. 4th in the American League in innings pitched, and this guy has definitely been the leader of the pitching staff. Guys like Baker and Slowey and Blackburn when he was here, now Brian Dunsing, Liriano, they all look up to Carl Pavano, the way he goes about his business. He's a leader in the clubhouse too, says manager Ron Gardenhire, and he's won 9 of his last 12 starts, 9-1 over his last 12 starts. This is his first start this year against the Oakland A's, only his 3rd career start against Bob Guerin and the A's.
You know, it's interesting as you look at the Athletic dugout and take the Twins defensive alignment and take a look at how they line up here for the series opener. Delman Young, Bernard Span, Jason Kubel in the outfield. Northland Ford bringing you the defense. Valencia at third, Casilla at short, Hudson and Pitire the right side of the infield, and of course Drew Butera behind the plate. You know, you look at the teams that make up this homestand for the Twins. Oakland's got a very good pitching staff, and while they are not in second place, they're very close to it. And the 2 teams that the Twins will play in the balance of this homestand are second place teams trying to get back on top in their division. So this is not going to be an easy homestand.
Oh no, the Oakland A's want to be the spoilers. They find themselves in 3rd place, 8 games behind the Texas Rangers. But Anaheim's right there. They're competing in that division, not like the Seattle Mariners.
Well, there's a half-game difference between the Angels, who the Twins will face to wrap up this homestand, and the Athletics. The Athletics doing very well since the break, like the Twins are. Coco Crisp in the box, and here we go. And that pitch misses inside, ball 1.
Well, a lot of these Oakland A's have never seen Carl Pavano, and what they'll see from Pavano is a fastball both sides of the plate. He'll go down, he'll go up in the strike zone. Change his speeds extremely well. He'll try to establish his fastball, 0-2 so far. 2-0 for Coco Crisp. Very good changeup, and then he'll mix in the breaking ball.
And into right field, Crisp gets a hitter's count, jumps all over a 2-0 pitch, and gets the first hit of the ball game.
Yeah, Coco Crisp a couple times on a disabled list, a fractured pinky finger at the beginning of the year, then put back on with a strained intercostal muscle. But this guy, we saw him in Kansas City, saw him in Boston. He's a guy that can steal some bases too, so you have to be careful.
He has 15. Davis has 34. Pennington has 17. So Pavano, who hasn't been the best at holding on runners to begin with, has got some challenges here in this Oakland lineup. And he goes on the first pitch. Butera's throw. Safe at second despite an acrobatic tag attempt by Casilla. So wasting no time at all. Crisp steals second base.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Butera has a great arm behind the plate, but when that base runner is about 2/3 of the way down, it's hard to throw somebody out. Coco Crisp not wasting any time. Look at the jump he had right there. And the throw, and a good effort right there by Casilla.
Check swing, and it's 1-1. Derek Barton, the first baseman, is the hitter. Twins have to respect the bunt here, as unlikely as it might seem, because the A's do it a lot. In particular, Barton does it a lot. He's got 12 sacrifice bunts. There's a fly ball in foul ground. And it's 1-2. Taking another look at Casilla's attempt at tagging out the runner.
Yeah, I mean, try that at home. Unbelievable attempt right there by Casilla.
A lot of us could try that at home. The difference is Casilla's, he got up. 1-2 to Derek Barton. Anyway, it's kind of unusual to see a first baseman with 12 sacrifice bunts. And with 2 strikes, Valencia back in the middle of the dirt. And Pavano tries to clip that inside corner.
Yeah, Barton in his 4th season with the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's are letting him play first base. Actually, Chris Carter, who's in left field, he is a first baseman. But they're going to stick with the Barton right now. A little bit of power, 5 home runs. He's driven in 38 runs.
And inside nearly hit him. It's full count.
Well, one thing about Oakland, they do not have a lot of power. They've hit 70 home runs on the year. One of the Seattle Mariners have hit fewer home runs.
Team leaders on deck, Kurt Suzuki, and he's got a dozen. 3-2 to Derek Barton. And he missed. So Pavano gives up a base hit, a stolen base, now a walk. Nobody out, and Suzuki to the plate.
And a rare walk for Pavano.
Twins baseball brought to you in Sony High Definition. Mixture of sun and clouds. Hard rain shower hit here mid-afternoon. Target Field has taken an awful lot of rain over the last week.
Yeah, that walk by Pavano only his 29th of the year. And he's averaging 1.6 walks. Now he's coming off a start in his last start in Cleveland where he walked 4, a season high.
First pitch strike to Kurt Suzuki.
Maybe one of the underrated catchers in the American League. Kurt Suzuki, pretty good hitter too.
And Pavano clips the outside corner and gets ahead of the number 3 hitter, 0-2. Crisp at second, Barton at first. Suzuki has hit into 14 ground ball double plays this year. Flips this one foul. In last night's game, many of you watched it, Francisco Liriano had some problems in the very first inning. Got through it with just the 1 run allowed. That might have turned the whole game around. It looked like the first inning was going to completely fall apart for Liriano. He got some big outs and ended up giving up just the 1 run, and that's a big strikeout potentially with Suzuki, leaving 2 runners aboard.
Oh, that's that changeup right there. He not only has great arm motion, we're honoring Frank Viola here as one of the 50th greatest, and that's what Frankie was able to do right there. I mean, just locate that changeup down in the strike zone, and Suzuki swinging through it.
And now strikeout prone Jack Cust. Cust designated for assignment out of spring training, even though he led the team in home runs last year, and he ended up in AAA with the A's, worked his way back up here. He's got 8 home runs so far. And he lifts this foul and out of play. He has 198 at bats and 75 strikeouts.
That's kind of do or all for this guy. You know, it's he does not get cheated once he decides to swing that bat. Cust in his 4th season with the A's. He has spent time with the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, the Orioles, the Padres.
One strike to Cust. Barring a double play, Kuzminov would hit next. Bouncer right side. Kadair looks at other bases, gets the out at first. 2 down, 2 in scoring position.
Well, this is the 4th game between these 2 ball clubs, and the 3 played in early June in Oakland. All 3 games were decided by 1 run. Twins won 2 of them, and then the A's won the final game. Twins were looking for a sweep, and the A's beat them 5-4 behind Gonzalez, the starter here tonight for the A's.
The first game went extra innings. That's how evenly matched this season series has been so far. So 2 on, 2 out, and here's Kuzminov. Crisp makes a little dash down the third baseline. Pavano keeps his composure and delivers strike 1.
Well, if the name Kuzminov sounds familiar to a lot of fans, his name was mentioned a lot during the winter about the possibility of maybe coming over to the Minnesota Twins. Instead, he went to the Oakland A's after spending 3 seasons with the San Diego Padres.
And a changeup for strike 2. Pavano getting himself into a little bit of a pickle here in the first inning, and one good pitch away from getting himself out. Nice block by Butera. Took the glove out of there and just stuck his chest protector out.
Well, we saw it yesterday ago with Liriano on the mound. How many blocks that Joe Mauer did on that hard slider down, and Butera right there utilizing the glove, the protector, just to deaden the ball.
1-2 to Kuzminov. Bouncer toward the hole. Casilla sets. Fires, and on a close play they got him. And Pavano pitches out of a jam in the first. Twins around town statues outside of Target Field. Twins will be home for a week and a half. Hope to have a good homestand. Carl Pavano put a 0 up in the first inning. And Menard's batting order for Ron Gardenhire. Menard Span leading off. Orlando Hudson hitting second. Then Joe Mauer, Michael Kadires, Jason Kubel with the big home run last night. Delman Young, Danny Valencia, Alexi Casilla, and Drew Butera.
And the Gene Scouting report on Gio Gonzalez making his 24th start and the second against the Twins. He beat the Twins in June in that last game of that 3-game series, 5-4. And this guy's a very good curveball. He's got a good fastball too, but that's kind of his strikeout pitch, is that very good curveball. One thing he's also been working on, and he's working on a changeup.
And Span fouls it to the screen, 1-1.
You mentioned earlier, very good pitching staff for the Oakland A's, Dick. 43-38, but combined 3.52 ERA for the starting staff. That's the best in the American League as far as starting staff's earned run average.
Called strike, 1-2.
Span trying to take that ball, but it's high. He kind of pulled away, and the ball ends up hitting the bat.
One and 2 to the Twins leadoff man. Grounded to short. Bad hop at 8 up with Pennington. That is one of the few bad hops we've seen on this infield. It looked like it on the second hop really came up and bit him in the left arm. Here's the Northland Ford defense for the A's. Carter, Crispin, Davis, the outfielders. Kuzminov, Pennington, Ellis, and Barton with Suzuki behind the plate.
Yeah, the A's coming in with 69 errors. That will be an error on Pennington. That's his 18th of the year.
Here's Orlando Hudson. Hudson hit a first inning home run last night that gave the Twins a very early lead. Down and in, ball one.
Let's take a look at the error right here. Just, it's a breaking ball. Span hitting it to short. You saw that hop come up and hit Pennington off the glove. He expected that ball to stay down. It came up.
1-0 to Hudson. And now 2-0.
Yeah, Hudson's home run last night came as a left-handed hitter. Hudson a switch hitter. Hitting well from both sides of the plate. .294 as a right-handed hitter. 4 of his 5 home runs have come from this side of the plate.
with Gonzalez falling behind Hudson.
That's one thing that Gonzalez has sometimes had trouble with. 62 walks in 141 innings coming into this ball game.
A 4-pitch walk, and now the Twins are runners at first and second with nobody out. Remember when Hudson was out, Alexi Casilla did a great job filling in for him, but it sure is nice having Hudson back in the lineup.
You can see, a hitter from both sides of the plate, occasional power. He's not going to, hit most home runs he's hit in one season, 15. But, he's a gap-type hitter with good speed, good baseball knowledge. Orlando Hudson.
When Gonzalez beat the Twins in Oakland earlier this year, he was given 5 early runs. The A's did some damage against Nick Blackburn. And now the Twins have a chance to break out on top with runners at first and second and nobody out.
Yeah, Gonzalez making his 4th career start against the Twins. Now last year he made 2 starts. Twins beat him up both times. He didn't last very long. This year he worked 7 very good innings in that 5-4 win. Gave up only 2 runs.
And there's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
A lot of young, talented kids here with the Oakland A's. Gonzalez just 24 years old. And Mauer has had pretty good success against Gonzalez. 2 hits in 5 at-bats. With a home run.
Inside, and it's 2-1. Twins had a game against Gonzalez last year where he just absolutely took a beating. Gave up 11 earned runs in less than 3 innings, but did not lose the ball game. Twins had a 12-2 lead. Nick Blackburn got all that run support, and then he had a rough outing. Twins ended up losing that ball game 14-13.
Yeah, when you're a starter and you give up 11 runs, you walk off the mound and you've got a hook in your mouth. You're going to lose the ball game. And then as the Oakland A's kept scoring, that hook was way down by his heart, and somebody pulled it out because it got a no decision when giving up 11 runs. That's awesome.
Sharply hit. Pennington again has a problem with a hop. Safe at first, and it cost the A's a double play. So same part of the infield, and Pennington didn't field it cleanly, and it cost the A's a ground ball double play.
Yeah, that ball, no bad hop right there. That was just mishandled when he was trying to do the exchange. He had it for a little bit and then dropped it and then had to do it. And by that time, Mauer beat it out. So you can't give him an error on that. Only a fielder's choice. But Twins have runners at the corners and 1 out.
Michael Cuddyer hitting cleanup, the 3rd different cleanup hitter for the last 3 games for the Twins. Delman Young had hit there for most of the road trip. And then Jason Kubel had that spot last night. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball.
Again, a lot of Twins don't have a lot of at-bats against Gonzalez, but Michael Cuddier's had 3, and he's 3 for 3 with a home run and a walk.
One and one. Curve outside and high, 2-1. Gonzalez was fortunate. He got Mauer to hit the ball right at somebody. On a 3-1 pitch. Now he falls behind Cuddyer.
Well, you need good defense behind you, and that should have been a double play right there, and there should be only 1-2 outs with Span at third. Who got on it in there?
Breaking wide of the plate, and Gonzalez again has a 3-1 count.
Well, he went with a 2-1 curveball. Ball staying outside. Home plate umpire Adrian Johnson here tonight.
3-1 to Michael Cuddyer. And they're loaded up for Kubel.
Second walk of the inning, and one thing about this Oakland A ball club, I told you, they're a very good starting staff, and since July 31st, combined the starting staff 6-4 with an ERA under 2. Curt Young, the pitching coach for Bob Guerin. Quick trip to the mound by Curt Young. Young also a left-handed starter at the major league level.
Kubel again last night, very dangerous with men on base in key spots. He delivered another big home run.
Yeah, Gavin Floyd left a breaking ball up, and a big 3-run home run in the 7th inning that opened up a 3-1 lead to a 6-1 lead.
Well, Kubel with the bases loaded. He's been one of Minnesota's best hitters in situations like this. And he takes low, ball 1. Kubel, a couple of hits, 4 at-bats, and a home run against Gonzalez. He was part of the hitting party against Gonzalez last year in Oakland. 2-0. The Twins have put 2 balls in play, and they've both been relatively routine ground balls to Pennington.
Well, right now, the mound is tilted for Gonzalez.
3-0.
He's having a tough time finding that strike zone. A lot of times you'll give the hitter a green light right here. I think Kubel's going to make him throw a strike.
And he does.
Because a lot of times what you get 3-1, you're going to get 3-2. Or 3-0, now 3-1. See if he comes back with another fastball.
On the outside corner, that's a full count.
A pretty good pitch right there. It wasn't like the 3-0 pitch. This one clipping the corner.
Full count with the bases full to Kubel. He pounds it up the line, foul.
Boy, it went with a curveball too. So that's a confidence that Gonzalez has in throwing a breaking ball over in a 3-2 count with bases loaded. Right here, curveball. Well, Kubel fouled it off.
Wasn't expecting it, I wouldn't imagine, but he got a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. Another 3-2. Checks his swing, and it's ball 4. He'll get a run batted in with Span coming in from third.
Yeah, he went back to the curveball, to this ball way outside. So Kubel credited with that RBI, his 74th of the year. And Span, who got on by the air of Pennington at short, scores the first run of the ball game.
There's a familiar name and face.
Booth's in town.
Warming up in the Oakland bullpen. Here's Delmon Young with the bases full and 1 out.
Yeah, Booth just getting called up from AAA.
And Young takes strike. Didn't hit much of anything hard during the road trip. Got a few hits here and there, hoping that returning home will help his stroke. Inside, 1-1.
Hey, Roy Smalley, good at bat by Jason Kubel. A 3-2 curveball he fouled off, and then he came right back with another curveball, but laid off of it.
I'm going to tell you, Bert, that's a great at bat. If I'd have been up there after seeing all those fastballs, 3-2 curveball, I'd have thrown my bat in center field trying to swing at it. But it really was. It was a great at bat for him to foul off that 3-2 curveball, and then to wait back and be able to lay off, even though the curveball on the second one on 3-2 was outside. You know, you're looking fastball in that situation with a guy struggling like he is. You want to drive in the runs, and it was a good piece of hitting to lay off those curveballs.
Bouncer wide of third, 2-2. Now Gonzalez has thrown 29 pitches and just 11 strikes
Yeah, that's not a very good strike-to-ball ratio.
Well, the Twins have a chance to do some early damage here. Young, the team leader in runs batted in. 2-2 with the bases full. Got him with a breaking ball, out number 2.
And that's perfect location. That's how he picks up a lot of his strikeouts, with that curveball underneath that swing of right-handed batters. So Delmon Young missing an RBI opportunity right here. See a good tight rotation and good downward spin.
So the veteran Young strikes out. The rookie Valencia will take his swings with the bases full and 2 away. Way outside, ball 1. And a strike over the inside corner.
Opponents coming into the ballgame hitting just 235 off of Gonzalez. Right-handers are hitting 251. Left-handers only 183. He's given up 10 home runs, 8 to right-handed batters.
And Valencia takes 2-1.
It's almost the same curveball that struck out Young.
Well, Gonzalez trying to do what Liriano did last night. Really pitching with the game on the line in the first inning, and Liriano got out of it with just the 1 run allowed. Mauer, Cuddyer, and Kubel the runners. 2-1 to Valencia. Driven to center, down for a hit. It's going to score 2. Kubel going to third. It'll score just. It will score 2. Mauer just crossed the plate, or make that Cuddyer just cross the plate before Kubel was tagged out at third. A 2-run single for Valencia. It's 3-0. Thought home plate umpire Adrian Johnson made a safe call as Cuddyer crossed the plate, but he motioned to the press box, just 1 run scored.
Yeah, we'll see the tag right there, and then he kind of pulled his, no, and then he just pointed 1, like 1 run scored. So Valencia picks up an RBI single, and the Twins have a 2-0 lead. Now what Cuddyer was doing, he's hustling all the way, but is unable to get the home plate before the tag is applied to Kubel.
So it's a 2-0 Twins lead, and Mark Ellis will lead off the second. Ball 1. Ellis, Davis, and Carter here in the Oakland second inning. A ball now, a strike.
Boy, that's probably, Roy Smalley, that's probably one of the hardest plays for an umpire, to watch the tag and then see if Cuddyer touched the plate before the tag.
It is a tough play for the umpire. Speaking of tough plays, here's another one.
And Valencia makes it. Danny Valencia ended up at home plate. The follow-through from his throw to get Mark Ellis.
We have seen a lot of consistent playing of third base for Danny Valencia. Right here has to come in barehanded and on the run, be able to put something on it. Kadir, nice little pick at first. Getting Ellis at first base. Oh, what a great defensive play.
That was a terrific play, but I do want to go back to the base running play, too. It's a tough mistake by Jason Kubel last inning. You can never, ever make the third out at third base on the bases. You just can't allow that to happen.
Ground ball hit to Casilla. Close play. Davis retired, 2 away.
That play right there. Sometimes you will buy an extra run, and by that I mean you'll go ahead and make it a close play at third and make the third out if you know that run can score. Is going to be at the play at the plate's going to be a close one. You try to talk them into throwing you out at third so you can buy that run. You usually do that late in the game in a close ball game, but in the first inning like that, when there was going to be no play at the plate, you cannot get thrown out at third there.
Down low, ball 1.
Well, Roy, there's that baseball saying, you don't want to make the first out or third out at first base. We saw it in Span in Chicago try to stretch that double into a triple. Same thing.
Right, at third base, that's right.
Pop up short right field. Kubel coming in. Hudson going out. And Hudson makes the catch. And Pavano's off the mound almost as quickly as he got there. It's Minnesota Moment, brought to you by Explore Minnesota. You can visit exploreminnesota.com. Plan your next Minnesota vacation today. That's the Iron Range Off-Highway Vehicle Recreation Area in Gilbert, Minnesota. It's in the Minnesota Iron Range, the Mesabi Range, where rich iron ore, the basis of the steel industry in this country, been mined for more than a century. Here's Alexi Casilla to start the second inning. First pitch fouled off the end of the bat, a strike. Casilla, Butera, and Span facing Gio Gonzalez here in the second inning.
Yeah, again, Gonzalez, a lot of pitches in that first inning. Both runs are unearned against Gonzalez. But then again, 34 pitches thrown, a couple walks in that inning, and only 14 for strikes.
Gonzalez muttering to himself a little bit. Breaking ball, and he's done that a lot to right-handed batters, wrapping that curve outside the plate.
Yeah, just opening up a little too quick. When you have a curveball like he has, you want to keep as closed as you can with fastball.
2-2.
I know with my curveball, I could feel it. If my shoulder's pulling out, of course, that curveball isn't going to get out front and really have that good bite. There's a better curveball right there.
Suzuki throws to first. One away. Let's get a medical update from Robbie Inzmakowski. Doctor?
And Dick, that medical update is on Justin Morneau, who today before the ball game had a chance to meet with the media and discuss his progress and his return from a concussion.
Obviously, taking a lot longer than we'd like, but you know, we're making sure it's gone before we get back out there and have a chance of you know, getting re-injured and ended up in a lot worse spot than we're at.
So Justin's still officially listed as day-to-day, Dick and Bert. We don't know when he's going to head off to that rehab assignment, but he will do that before he returns to the big league club, guys.
Thank you, Robbie.
You know what? He's got to be biting at the bit to come back, but everybody knows, I mean, he's got to come back 100%. He can't go down to rehab if he's just maybe 80, 90%. He's got to go down because he's going to face live hitting, and he's got to make sure that, you know, he's ready.
And the term is day to day, but in reality, where we are with him right now, it's week to week. I mean, if he were to wake up tomorrow and everything's better, he's still got to work his way back into some sort of physical shape to play a ball game. 1-2 to Butera. And that's outside, 2-2. Pretty ragged first trip through the order for Gio Gonzalez. He's thrown 43 pitches and just 19 strikes.
Yeah, a lot of those pitches that he's missing outer half to right-handers. That's that changeup they've been trying to work with him on. Yeah, there's a good curveball right there. Another good bite curveball. Twin fans, log on to FoxSportsNorth.com for your chance to be circled by me at the Twins home game. Click on the Circle Me Bert tab to enter and explain why your section should be circled for a chance to spend an inning in the booth, in our broadcast booth. Winners will be announced the morning before each game on FoxSportsNorth.com and KFAN.com.
Here's Denard Span, reached on an error his first time up and scored. Swinging strike on the first pitch from Gonzalez. The White Sox are hosting the Tigers. They're in the same time zone as we are, but they've got Mark Burley pitching. So they're already in the fourth inning. No score. Top of the fourth, Detroit batting. 2-1.
Well, Span led off the ball game with a ground ball to short. That Pennington, that ball kind of came up on him, and Span ended up scoring one of the two runs for the Twins in the bottom of the first inning.
Swing and a foul, 2-2. Gonzalez has struck out the 8 and 9 batters, and now he's going after Denard Span.
He struck out Casilla and Butera on curveballs when he got ahead in the count.
Just off a late 3-2 with Hudson on deck.
Well, remember, he threw Jason Kubel that 3-2 curveball with bases loaded and 2 out, so there's no guarantee right now that Span's going to get a fastball. But he does, and he misses.
Off the plate, Span gets a walk. And Hudson will come up and see if the Twins have any thoughts of maybe stealing Span. His running game has been subdued because of all the pickoffs, but this would seem to be an opportunity even with a left-hander going. Suzuki hasn't thrown out an abundance of runners.
Well, you see the high pitch down 50 pitches, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Twins, there's runners all over the place, but the Twins have only 1 hit. There you go. You are hereby circled. They are in the Circle Me section. We're in section 3 and 236. Section 3 and 236.
On the outside corner, strike 1. One and one. Hudson drew a walk his first time up. on 4 pitches. Twins got a couple of runs in the first, almost got a third. Made the final out at third base. As the Twins move forward here through August and into September, and they hope into October, I think they'd like to see Span be a little more aggressive, but it's hard for him to do that and overcome all the pickoffs.
Well, it's tough too when there's a left-hander on the mound too.
But when Span's been on right-handed, I think he's at a stage right now where he's so conscious about not being picked off that there isn't even a thought of him stealing a base. 2-1. He does not have the green light to go anytime he wants. There's a called strike 2-2, and Hudson doesn't agree. He snaps his head around and looks at Adrian Johnson.
I thought that ball was a little bit on the high side. About belt high. Today's game.
And 3-2. Span will take off here with the full count and 2 out.
Barton playing behind Span, so Span will get a good jump here. See if Hudson can hit a double. A little extra base hit.
Lifted foul back into the seats.
Well, Gonzalez coming off a start in his last start on August 7th. He pitched 7 shutout innings against the Texas Rangers. Ended up winning that ball game 6-2. Making his 54th career start. 17 wins, 18 losses.
Paul, third strike, and 3 strikeouts and a walk in the second inning for Gio Gonzalez. Minnesota Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. By Lincoln Mercury. Visit your local Lincoln Mercury dealer or go to experiencelm.com. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Carl Pavano pitching to the A's in the third inning. His first pitch outside to Cliff Pennington, ball 1. Pavano trying to overcome a little bit of a rough start. He gave up a base hit and a walk. He's retired 6 in a row and now 1-1. We're very happy to have one of the Cy Young Award winners in Minnesota Twins history, Frank Viola, and honored tonight as one of the 50 greatest Twins. Congratulations. I know you've had your induction into the Twins Hall of Fame, but this is another nice honor.
It really is. Just to be part of the history of the Twins is a compliment unto itself.
So what brings you into town besides your son?
Pretty much my son.
Drive to right center field, and Pennington is going to almost push it through the gap. Instead, it's a leadoff double here in the third inning.
Actually, last night I went out to Rochester, Minnesota, and did an event for the American Cancer Society, which was very, very cool. Got to meet a lot of people. Boy, who is that young guy? Woo.
Frank Viola, one of the anchors of the 87 starting rotation, and then the Cy Young Award the next year in 1988 when he won 24 ball games.
Yeah, I saw that curveball right there. On a regular 9-inning ball game, how many curveballs did you throw? You didn't throw that many.
2 or 3,
yeah.
max. and usually it was the first pitch curveball.
Right.
I don't know why I threw it in that case, but it worked. Last night I told a story, by the way. I know we're getting away here, but I have to just say, I told a story about you coming into spring training back in 85, 86, with your new pitch.
My lone pitch?
Yeah, your BP fastball.
Yeah, I just loaned it out to the hitter. And they did whatever they wanted.
What an unbelievable. Just for those who are listening, his BP pitch ended up giving up 50 home runs that year, which is still a major league record today.
I'm very proud of that record.
You should be.
I led the league in innings pitched, and I won 17 ball games.
You did. And you got me, and you helped me out more than just being the veteran status. You also got me down the list of the home runs given up as well.
Hey, you make a lot of fans that way.
Yeah. I have yet to be circled, though, by you.
Really?
I've never been circled by Bert.
Go ahead. There's your chance.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
You are hereby circled.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah, you're welcome. Did you feel the tingle?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move away from that. 1-2. The Coco Crest, who singled to right, ended up at third base in the first inning. And a fastball up and in. Johnny Padres, I know you've talked many times about the pitching coach with the Twins at the time, working with you on the changeup, and that really was the thing that seemed to turn your career around.
Absolutely. I mean, I would have been, I believe, a marginal major league pitcher until that came about. And, Johnny, the one thing he said, the one thing he instilled in my head when he was fired as pitching coach at Minnesota, is the last thing he said to me was, do not give up on that changeup. Nice pitch right there by Pavano. Boy, is he throwing well.
Well, and he's got a good changeup, too. But, the guy who followed you in Cy Young lore and in Twins history, Johan Santana, was sent back to the minor leagues. Bobby Cuellar was instrumental in him. And they pretty much told him the same thing. Said, look, you've got to throw this pitch and master it, and that is what made Santana such a great pitcher.
Yeah. I gave you a baseball here, and I expect it back, but show the viewers how you threw that changeup.
Well, basically, it's just a circle change. What's called a circle change. And what I did, and this was after like a dozen grips, I ended up going back to the original grip, but what it is basically holding the seam of the ball with my pointer finger, and whatever kind of pressure I put on that finger was how much amount of run was on that pitch. So what I rested on my pointer finger and my pinky, my third and fourth fingers off the ball. And what I did was I just had to make sure I got on top of the ball. And as Johnny Pod just said, steal attempt, and that was a pretty good jump.
Easy steal for Pennington, and now has stolen 14 straight bases.
But the last thing Johnny said was, you think fastball, trust the grip, and feel like you're pulling down the curtain shade, because that forces you to get it out there. So by getting it out there, and if you're a pitcher out there, if you're looking to throw a fastball in his spot, you're looking to catch a shin guard or maybe his chest protector or his glove. For changeup, you got to look beyond the catcher. You got to look beyond his shoe. What I looked at was his shoes. And I tried stretching out, getting out to his shoes, because the more you stretch, the more movement, downward movement you're going to get.
I always talk about working out front, so the same thing is on that changeup. Are you trying to throw that changeup just on the other side of home plate?
I started down the middle and let it do its own thing. Pretty much like a knuckleball pitcher. You know how you can't go to a specific spot, you just go to a location. I did the same thing with my changeup.
See, when I came up in 1970, I remember, with Jim Cotton, Jim Perry. Perry had excellent control. He won the Cy Young in 1970. You and him were the first 1-2 Cy Young Award winners for the Twins until Santana. But take a look at this pitch.
The drive to right center field. It'll put the A's on the board, get the tying run into scoring position. Barton, who walked in the first, has a double, and he wants one more. And he'll get there with an RBI triple. It's 2-1.
Well, Pavano's left a couple pitches up here. One to Pennington that he hit almost in the same spot that Barton did right there. For Barton, that is his fourth triple of the year. See the high fastball. Barton, kind of a compact type swing. Puts it in that gap. The wall slows it down. Span has to get it. And by that time he could get it back in, Barton with a triple, an RBI triple. But I was brought up, Frankie, when I was told not to follow a changeup after a changeup.
Right.
And you were like, that's all you threw. Sometimes you would throw 7, 8 changeups in a row.
The best story I have there is I was pitching to Kingdom, and Timmy Lodden was my catcher. And we threw 10 pitches one inning, struck out the side, and all 10 pitches were changeups. I've never to this day, I don't know how the heck that worked out, but that's a true story, and it was the coolest thing I ever seen. Everybody's talking about 99, 98 mile an hour fastballs blowing people by. You can be just as effective throwing 78 to 99 as long as you know how to pitch. Right. And you made the thing, Dick, earlier. You mentioned about Johan Santana's changeup. Right. The thing that I loved about Johan's changeup is he was one of the few guys that could get away with the changeup up in the zone. Right. Because his fastball was so alive. I had to work down the zone. If I got up, I got hurt.
They're going to come home, and they're going to get the runner hung up between third and home. Barton is tagged out. The Twins brought the infield in, and Barton tried to score, and Suzuki will reach on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, not a good decision right there by Derek Barton. The ball is right in front of him. I'm sure that Mike Gallego, the third base coach, is saying, hey, if the ball's in the middle of the infield, go. But that ball's right there to Valencia. All he has to do is make a good throw to Butera, and a good rundown right there. You only want one throw other than the one that Valencia threw to Butera.
The nice thing too, Bird, is they left the runner on first base. He didn't have a chance to get to second base in scoring position.
Jack Tusk will hit. 2 out and a runner at first.
That's a mustache, by the way. I could look good. I could look good against Carl in the mustache category. One of the few people in the history of the game.
Okay, now we know when we showed you in the video on the 50 greatest, you were very superstitious. Okay, now Carl Pavano, since early June, he threw that stash, and he's 9-1
So
over the last 12 starts. I mean, he's going to keep it, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'd be growing a full beard right now. You kidding me?
Hey, I want to ask you about Santana.
Right. So it's your stash.
Check it out. Look at how full that is compared to Carl's. Come on, Carl. Look at that.
See, he trims it.
Mine took 40 years, though. His only took 2 months. That's different.
I still think, and I don't have any evidence to back it up, I still think that's one of Joe Mauer's sideburns that they gave away at the ball game 3 years ago. And they just trimmed it up a little bit and pasted it on his lips. You talked about Santana. He had one of the most confounding changeups because he could fade it in and away. Now yours was just, could you do that? Here's a drive to left. Young going back, leaping, and the ball off his glove, and he takes a spill on the warning track, and the A's are going to tie it up. Another ball hitting Young's glove, but not staying in it. It's 2-2.
Well, sometimes when you make contact with that wall, that automatically the ball's going to maybe, it's going to come out of the glove. And a good effort right there by Young. Jack Tusk taking it the other way. Young knew he was near the track. It hits the base of his glove, and he leaped right there. Again, this is still a new field to a lot of these guys. How many feet to the wall? And Delman jumping a little bit too early, and then maybe took his eye off the ball.
Looked like a football wide receiver right there, taking his eye off the ball because of defensive back coming out.
Kuzminoff will hit with the go-ahead run at second. And the A's have a couple of doubles and a triple against Pavano here in the third. Fly ball left field. And Young backpedals to make the catch. Frank, great to see you. Congratulations on being a member of the 50 Greatest Twins.
Thanks. Great seeing you guys as always. Very great seeing you.
Right field, I'm hanging out in the Minnesota State Lottery winner's circle in right field, foul territory, with $100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets for Judy and Tyler of Stillwater, Minnesota. And Bert and Dick, when you look at these two, look at us. They're celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary here at Target Field, their second time here at this ballpark. Judy, how do you do it for 50 years?
It's easy, very easy.
You think anybody
we
could?
have 4 kids too.
4 kids, congratulations. Can anybody put up with Bert for 50 years, you think?
I don't know about that one. I think she can.
Nope, I'm going no. You go yes, I go no.
Don't tell Gail that.
Forget Gail. I'm on the 14th year with you. I don't think there's any chance we're going to get
Yeah, but so is Gail. I'm in trouble.
1-1 to Mauer. Twins trying to retake the lead. They got a couple of runs in the first. Probably should have had at least 3. And now they find themselves in a tie game. Mauer, Cuddyer, and Kubel facing Gio Gonzalez, who struck out 3 and walked the guy on the second. Inside, it's 2-1. This time a 2-hopper to second. Ellis makes the play, 1-0.
Let's go to one of Circle Me sections here tonight, section 3 and 236. And Paul Christensen, he proposed to his future wife, and she said yes. So congratulations to you. You are hereby circled.
Well, now that's bookending right there. We had somebody with a 50th wedding anniversary and somebody who just got engaged.
I hope they last 50 years.
1-0 plus to Michael Cuddyer. He walked and did not cross the plate before Kubel was tagged out at third in the first inning. That's a couple of runs looking back now on the season. Remember the play where Nick Punto didn't score from third on a play. Bernard Span left second base and he was doubled off second before Punto crossed the plate. So the Twins have lost a couple of runs at home plate. And, some base running situations.
Yeah, no fault of Michael Cuddyer. He was hustling all the way around. He just could not get to home plate before Kubel was tagged out.
2-1 to Cuddyer. And now 3-1. Seven 3-ball counts for Gio Gonzalez already in the game. Hit to center. Coco Crisp hardly has to move. 2 down.
And again, fans, log on to FoxSportsNorth.com for your chance to be circled by me at the Twins home game. And click on the Circle Me Bert tab to enter and explain why your section should be circled for a chance to spend an inning up in the booth with Dick and I. Winners will be announced the morning before each game on FoxSports.com and KFAN.com. And tell us your stories. You know, there you go. See, their story is that they woke up in the morning and they had hair under their nose.
Ball 1. You know, we ought to maybe, if we're going to have people coming up here, we ought to maybe pick this place up here a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we can get Jim to leave.
Clean things up here in the booth and keep it tidy and neat for our guests. They want to see what a real broadcast booth is like.
It's kind of home away from home.
Yeah. Kubel lifts it foul and out of play. We very often have a lot of great food here. We've got some bakery goods from our friends at Busy Bee Bakery out in the Bay Area. They actually shipped us a bunch of food out here.
Yeah, keep mentioning them, because if we keep mentioning them, the Busy Bee Bakery out in California, they'll keep sending us food.
I thought the peanut butter cookies were outstanding.
Oh, the oatmeal raisin were very good. And you know who took the little cake that we had? Willie Frazier, a former teammate of mine, now a scout. He came in here and took the whole piece of cake.
Kubel swings and misses, and Gonzalez had a very rough first inning, but he's settled down now. And we've got a 2-2 game going to the fourth. value player of the game, text the word value, followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234234. And Carl Pavano leading the balloting so far. We'll give you the final results in our Twins postgame show. Mark Ellis leading off the fourth, taking a strike. A little nubber up the third baseline, and Danny Valencia made a great play to barely get him at first base. And now 2 strikes. Usually what Pavano, when he's had an inning where the lead has been given back or some runs have scored, he's come right back and had a very good inning. Very rarely have you seen back-to-back rough innings.
Right. Well, he makes the adjustment pretty well. I mean, that last inning, he left some pitches up that ended up getting hit. So now what he'll try to do is, of course, every pitcher wants to do what Pavano's been able to do, and get ahead in the count, and then work the corners.
Off the glove of Pavano, and he deflects it. Ellis will get an infield hit. Not sure that Hudson would have had a play. He would have had to field the ball. It appeared almost behind the second base bag, and it'll be an infield hit opening up the fourth inning. Grand Casino story of the game. The Twins getting the first 2 runs, and then the A's tying it in the third.
Yeah, Twins, they had bases loaded in that first inning. Danny Valencia getting an RBI single. Twins scored a couple unearned runs, but the Oakland A's came back with 2 runs in the top of the third to tie it at 2-2.
Here's Davis, hit a ground ball to Casilla his first time up. Showing Bunton taking ball 1. Davis, one of the speed guys for the A's. We've seen him in center field, but now with Coco Crisp healthy, Davis getting some time in right field. Check swing 2-0. Ryan Sweeney, talented young former White Sox outfielder, now Oakland outfielder, done for the year with some knee issues.
That needs surgery.
So that opens up right field for Davis.
Yeah, Davis, like you mentioned, a speedster in his 3rd season with the A's, claimed off waivers from the San Francisco Giants. That's Turnip.
Oh, and Hudson boots the ball. Perfect double play ball, and the Twins don't get any outs. And it'll be an error charge to Davis, or to Hudson rather, first and second, and nobody out.
Yeah, sometimes I'm sure you maybe took his eye off the ball, trying to just get it over to Casilla very quickly, and the ball stayed down, and Hudson retrieves it. Hudson making his 6th error of the year.
And Davis so fast he doesn't hit into many double plays, just 3 on the year, but that almost certainly would have been 1. Here's Chris Carter, 0 for 10 as a big leaguer with 5 strikeouts. And Pavano hits the outside corner. Carter very highly thought of in the Oakland organization, getting a chance to play here, and he'd love to get his first hit out of the way.
Yeah, Carter coming over from the Arizona Diamondbacks in the Dan Herron trade back in December of 2007.
1 strike. Another double play ball. 1, 2. So a runner at third with 2 away, and the number 9 hitter Pennington coming to the plate. You can ask a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. Eli Robinson of Round Lake, Minnesota, wondering what the ERA of the Twins pitching staff is when Drew Butera is catching.
28 starts for Drew Butera. Very good. 3.76 earned run average in those ball games.
The team ERA is 3.93, so just a little bit better with Butera behind the plate than with Mauer or others. Runner at third, 2 down, and here's Pennington. He takes inside, ball 1.
What you have to remember, he's become Pavano's personal catcher, and Pavano over his last, now he hasn't caught all 12 starts, but Pavano coming in 9-1 with a 2.62 ERA over his last 12 starts.
It's always a dangerous stat because of what you just said. If you're catching the pitcher with the lowest ERA, that number's going to look awfully good on your.
Oh, I bet you Tim McCarver's ERA was really good because Steve Carlton was his. Tim McCarver was his personal catcher.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Well, Pavano pitched out of a little bit of a situation in the first at a 1-2-3 second. Gave up a couple of runs in the third, and now trying to leave the go-ahead runner at third with 2 outs here in the fourth.
Well, you want to pick up your middle infielder, Orlando Hudson, right here. The ball just missing inside. It's only a couple times. Pavano's only given up 2 unearned runs in his first 23 starts. It's only a couple times as a pitcher you can really pick up your defense. They make so many great plays behind you. Help get, that second baseman so it's not an unearned run. Get him off the field. And believe me, Orlando Hudson will go up to Carl Pavano and say, hey, I'm sorry, but great job.
Still 2-2. White Sox got 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th against Detroit, so they got a 4-0 lead. Jeremy Bonderman making the start for the Tigers. Two and 2 to Pennington. And Pavano gets the job done. Go-ahead runner stranded at third. And we're still tied at 2.
Sally Esme, you are here by circle, and you're our winner here tonight. You get to come up to the booth. So, Sally, come on up.
We'll save you a cookie. Delman Young leading off the bottom of the 4th against Gio Gonzalez, who had a very rough first inning, but he has really settled down. And Young lifts it foul over the Twins' dugout. 1 strike. Young struck out against Gonzalez in the middle of that first inning. The Twins got just 1 hit in the inning. And to this point still have just the 1 hit. It was Valencia's RBI single that unfortunately ended the inning. This one to right center field, and hit number 2. Young drops a base hit. Now the ball gets away from Davis, and Young will go to second base. What in the world's going on here? We've had routine ground balls bobbled, and now Davis just simply overran a ball that looked like it almost stopped before it got to him.
Well, we really don't mind if the opponent, makes the error. We don't like it when Twins do, but Yalman getting the barrel out quickly, hitting it in front of Davis, and that little short hop right there came up on him, and then he has to go retrieve it. Davis making an error, his 3rd of the year.
And Valencia drove in a run with a single. I think the Twins were going to score 2 runs on the base hit, but Kubel was tagged out at third just before Michael Cuddyer touched home plate.
Roy, any idea what is it because it's Friday the 13th? It's Friday the 13th down here, guys. I got to tell you, I'm watching routine ground balls and guys looking up in the stands instead of at the ball. And it's pretty amazing down here. There's a full moon too. I can't see it. It's a little crazy.
1-1 to Valencia.
Well, remember, this first time Oakland has been in Target Field, but that ball right there kind of came up on Davis. still as an outfielder where you don't want to play it off to the side like he did. If that ball comes up, it hits off your chest. It's not hit very hard, and the ball stays in front of you.
Breaking ball over 1-2.
I know we don't have an instructional here tonight because of the fireworks.
That's right.
That would be a great instructional, I think, with maybe Roy Smalley or Ron Coomer or Tim Laudner out there, and I could throw like one-hop peas and hit it off their chest so they can knock it down. I don't like that idea.
1-2 to Valencia. He drives it to left center field. That's it pretty well. Way out there. And a ground rule double for Valencia will put the Twins in front. Not many balls have been hit out where Valencia hit that one out on the first hop.
Yeah, Betancourt of Kansas City is the first one that hit the ball where Valencia hits his ball. Coco Crisp got good speed. That's not a bad pitch. A pitch down, it's like a golf shot. And over the head of the speedy Coco Crisp, a one-hopping the warning track, and then bouncing over the fence for that RBI ground rule double.
Valencia with an RBI single, now an RBI double. Casilla at the plate with nobody out. Bunted softly. Gonzalez fires to first, a sacrifice. Casilla gets the job done, getting Valencia up a base.
Well, good job right there. The fourth sacrifice of the year for Alexi Casilla.
Butera will try to get him in. And our AT&T trivia question: who are the 7 Twins pitchers to lead the American League in wins for a season? Well, our third inning guest had to be one of them, Frank Viola. There's 6 others.
Jim Cott, one of them.
That's right, 25, sure. And I'm wondering,
I believe Jim Perry won 24 in 1970.
There's another one. Infield in, Butera at the plate. Valencia at third. Butera takes up and away, ball 1.
Butera looking down at Scotty Alger. Scotty will tell Valencia what is on. Maybe a possible squeeze play.
Here he comes. And Butera lays it down beautifully. A beautiful bunt by Butera, and the Twins get a pair here in the 4th.
Well, you don't see this too often, a squeeze play. It was perfectly executed. Valencia did not give it away too soon. And you can do this more, I think, against a left-handed pitcher than you can a right-handed pitcher. You see Valencia taking off, a breaking ball down, Butera laying it down, the out at first. And Valencia scores the second run of the inning. Twins take a 4-2 lead.
2 out, Denard Span at the plate, fouling it back. I remember what Jim Leland said about the squeeze play when he called for one about a month or so ago. He said he hates calling the squeeze play because it seems like it's an hour between when you call for it and when the play is actually executed successfully or not. You're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and you don't want to give it away, of course.
Well, again, with Gonzalez being a left-handed pitcher, his back is to Valencia, so he doesn't see Valencia take off. If you're a right-hander, a lot of times if Valencia, if it's a right-hander, he takes off too early, then that right-handed pitcher has a chance maybe to do something different than just throw the ball over the plate.
That's a great play by Mark Ellis, taking a hit away from Denard Span. A single and a double to start the inning, a couple of runs for the Twins. Tonight's game is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the Thirst Inning. Let's check out the crowd through the Thirst Inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game. Budweiser, it's what we do.
Rochester, Minneapolis. This is now our time to shine in the glory.
And Carl Pavano has his second 2-run lead with which to work. Coco Crisp leading things off. Taking a strike here to start the 5th inning for Pavano. 64 pitches through 4+ innings. And missing inside 1-1. Pavano has had a tough time getting the leadoff hitters out here. Only once has he been able to keep the leadoff man off the bases, and it took a great play by Danny Valencia to retire Ellis in the second. Just outside, 2-1.
You know, Pavano, again, he struggled a little bit in his last start in Cleveland. He walked 4. He did strike out 6 in that ball game. He threw 108 pitches in 7 innings, getting the win against the Indians.
3-1.
Pavano again came into this ball game just 1.6 walks per 9 innings. Only Cliff Lee scored fewer walks per 9.
Foul back, 3-2. Crisp, Barton, and Suzuki to face Pavano here in the 5th. Pavano looking for his 15th win of the year. And an off-speed pitch fouled back by Crisp. Talking about our trivia question, Twins pitchers who've led the league in wins. I think you'd have to put Mudcat Grant on that list, I think, in 1965 when he won 20. Might have led the league that year.
How about Camilo Pascual?
There's a drive to center. Span going back. And making the catch. 1 away.
Well, we have someone to my left clapping right here. Sally, happy 90th birthday again. And welcome to the booth. Sally is up there because Twin fans, you can log on to foxsportsnorth.com for your chance to be circled at a Twins home game. Then click on to Circle Me Burt tab and enter and explain why your section should be circled for a chance to spend an inning up in the booth. Winners will be announced the morning before each game on foxsportsnorth.com and KFAN.com.
There's a liner to center and a base hit. Barton has his second hit. Span wheels and gets it back into the infield. A 1-out single.
I like hitters like Barton that take a pitch that's away. Don't try to pull it, just went with it. Good piece of hitting right there by Barton.
Barton's reached all 3 times, and now Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki struck out of the first, and then with Barton at third, representing the tying run, and only 1 out. He hit a 1-hopper to Valencia. Barton tried to score, was tagged out. Looked like the A's were just going to get the 1 run, but then Huss doubled off the glove of Delman Young to tie the game. Swing and a miss. The A's eventually might want to lock up some of their good young pitchers. They locked up their good young catcher earlier this year, signing Suzuki to a 4-year extension.
Yeah, he's a good one. Just 26 years old already in his 4th season with the A's.
Tigers have come back with a couple in the 6th. Against Mark Burley, it's 4-2 Chicago, bottom of the 6th inning at U.S. Cellular Field. The Twins left quite an impression in Chicago, not just on the baseball side, but I think among the fans who were talking Chicago today is where on earth were the Chicago White Sox fans for that key series at U.S. Cellular Field. Now, 1 game sold out, averaged just over 30,000 per game in the heat of a pennant race with a White Sox team that had been playing very good baseball, particularly at home, and the fans showed up in disappointing numbers. To the point where one of the columnists in the paper today said that when Google hit the home run, there was an audible cheering from the Twins fans who were there. They almost outshouted the White Sox fans last night.
Good.
1-2 to Kurt Suzuki. Just off the plate.
Cavano got a ground ball double play off the bat of Chris Carter last inning. Twins turned a double play.
2-2 with one gone. Punch to right field. Kubel fought the lights a little bit. There's a twin row of lights, or a row of two lights that go across the front of the canopy here, and a ball hit at that altitude or that trajectory.
Right.
Sometimes you get lost in those lights.
Yeah, Kubel fought it right there, made a nice catch.
So 2 down, and Jack Cust will hit. Now, eventually tonight, the lights will be turned off, and they're going to have fireworks here. Just the second fireworks show at Target Field. And if you're at home, you'll be able to watch the goings-on here at FoxSportsNorth.com. Inside, ball 1. And I know you and I both thought that at the Metrodome, fireworks would have been a great idea. Just knock a few holes in the roof, eventually deflate the place, and then we would have a real outdoor ballpark. They never took our advice. Ripped to right, a sinking line drive. And a couple of hits here in the 5th. Cust at first, Barton at second, 2 down. Kuzmanov to the plate. Go back to our trivia question and answers 7 of them.
We have to go with Johan Santana, Frank Viola, Jim Cott.
You must have been. Were you in there at some point?
I don't believe so, no.
Dave Goltz,
yeah.
And Mudcat, 65. Scott Erickson, 120 in 1991.
Ding, 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 ding.
I think we pretty much covered the board.
All we needed was 1.
Here's Kuzmanov, a bouncer to short and a fly to left. Just outside a ball. The A's staying in the race in the West. As we said, they're a half game behind the Angels. Both teams above 500. None of it matters, I don't suppose, if the Rangers continue to play .575 baseball. But if you're of the belief that the Rangers are going to hit a speed bump, they're going to hit the skids for a week or two, then 2, not 1, but 2 teams are waiting for them to come back a little bit in the American League West. Bouncer left side. Casilla has it, flips to second, and they got the force.
What a great play by Casilla.
Good play as he takes a spill behind the third base bag, getting a force of Cust at second base. Well, it's not a full moon, a crescent moon. The Twins are up 4-2, and Orlando Hudson will lead things off here in the 5th against Gio Gonzalez. Carl Pavano has given up some hits along the way, but he's kept the A's under control.
And he's had some very good defensive plays behind him. Again, at any level, you have to have good defense, and Pavano's had that tonight.
Hudson takes outside, 1-1. Hudson walked in the first, called out on strikes in the second. Twins have a 2-run lead, yet they have just 3 hits. 2 of them by Danny Valencia. Coleman Young has the other hit. Hudson, Mauer, and Kadire to face Gonzalez. 2-2. When we talked about Hudson and how nice it is to have him back, and to take nothing away from Casilla and what he did at second base, or Punto, anybody else who could play over there. But in Hudson's case, you're talking about an extra 3,000 at bats that he has over Casilla. He's been around for a longer time than Casilla, and kind of nice to have that veteran presence hitting second in the lineup. And Roy Smalley, part of our broadcast team here today, a special project you've been working on.
Yeah, I have, Dick. I'm actually the president of the board of an organization called Pitch In for Baseball, and we collect new and gently used baseball equipment that we supply to underprivileged, underserved communities, underprivileged kids, literally all over the United States and all over the world. The Twins have been kind enough to help us sponsor an equipment collection day on August 21st. Twins fans can bring in gently new or gently used baseball equipment they're no longer using for their own kids, and really help kids literally all over the country and all around Minnesota, for that matter, play baseball. Between now and the 21st, we're also at Smalley's 87 Club. We're also going to be a site, collection site as well, so you can bring it to the game on the 21st or any time between now and then at the 87 Club restaurant. We're desperately in need of catcher's masks and catcher's gloves, and we know from the requests that we're getting. So we'd really appreciate Twins fans if they can help us. It'd be just great.
And Roy, I know having kids that have grown through spikes, I would imagine shoes would be included too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We literally are able to leverage the generosity of people all over the country with everywhere, anything from head to toe, hats to shoes, and uniforms and everything in between. In today's game with kids, there's seems like you need a new size aluminum bat every year your kid plays. I mean, there's all kinds of opportunity, and there are kids out there that are not playing baseball simply because they don't have the equipment. And boy, that's something we can just fix, and so we'd really appreciate the help.
2-2 to Mauer. A drive to left. And making a gliding catch out there, Chris Carter, out number 2. Fans will need to pass along a game time change for the next for this Target Field homestand. 1 week from Sunday, August 22nd, against the Angels. It's been moved to an evening game. First pitch is at 7:05. So if you have tickets for August 22nd, the game has been moved from an afternoon game to an evening game. And check on ticket availability. Call 800-33-TWINS. 2 gone in the 5th. Here's Michael Kadire. And that curve snapping over. Strike 1.
Dyer walking and a fly ball to Coco Crisp out in center in his last at bat. And going 2 curveballs in a row, getting ahead in the count is Gonzalez.
And a fastball right down the middle. Boy, he carved up Kadire. A couple of curves and a fastball. Kadire took all 3. And Gonzalez has a 1-2-3 fifth.
Your game day forecast is brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems. The A's in town taking on the Twins tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Coverage begins. It will be partly cloudy. Can't rule out the potential, though, for a gusty thunderstorm moving through the area.
I think that's been the case pretty much all summer long. We've had very hot weather around here everywhere we've been, and there's always been that threat of a severe thunderstorm. First pitch strike to Mark Ellis, and he sends it over the mound. Hudson scoops and fires. Good play by Hudson for the first out of the 6th.
Hey, Roy Smalley, you're down in that camera well. You watch Carl Pavano go about his business. He's let some pitches up, but he's really needed his defense here tonight.
He has needed defense, Bird, and they've made some good plays, but they've also made some questionable plays behind him. And I got to tell you what I'm most impressed with. You can always say impressed with Pavano when he's got his great command. He's throwing every pitch where he wants to. But I would say that today is the kind of game where he does not have his best stuff, or at least his best command, and he has willed himself to find it. They're not, to your point, left another one up, and Rajai Davis gets a base hit, but he's left some balls up. He's had an error by his second baseman. He's had a ball in left field that could have been caught. And I got to tell you, he has gutted himself and willed himself to find it. In the first inning, the first two balls to the first hitter gives a base hit. 3-2 walk the next hitter. He gets a 3-4-5 hitter out. Some questionable defense. He only gives up 2 runs. Should have only given up 1. I think this has been a very impressive performance by a guy that didn't have his best command tonight. Doesn't yet.
Here is Carter in a throw to first. Davis, a speed demon, and he's a threat to steal with Carter at the plate, still looking for his first major league hit.
I think anytime that a pitcher gets a compliment from a manager like Ron Gardenhire did for Pavano, saying that, hey, this guy is the leader of the staff. And you know what? I expect these younger pitchers like the Bakers and the Slowies and the other starters to watch him pitch. You know, you can't win every time, or you can't walk out there every time with your best stuff. And exactly what is your best stuff? But you know what? You hit your spots. You try to keep the ball down, try to get a ground ball here or there.
And hooking down the line, Carter's been stymied in his attempts to get his first hit. But, you know, if you're, the one thing we've seen from Pavano, as Roy said tonight, and in some other situations when he has not had great command, he's still been able to make big pitches in big spots.
Because he changes speed so well.
Right.
He adds and subtracts. Everything isn't hard. He'll take a little off. The hitter will be a little out front, hit it, maybe pop up a ground ball.
2 strikes.
Even that swing right there by Carter. I know he's just in his 4th major league game, but that was a terrible swing at a pitch that was a slider down and away. And it wasn't the fastball that he just hooked foul. It was the off-speed pitch. I showed you the stolen bases for Davis at first.
The Oakland bench claiming that Pavano just balked. And Davis goes, and that ball is off of Butera. Davis will hold up at second base. So stolen base for Rajai Davis. And he's at second with 1 away.
Yeah, second stolen base of the ball game. Coco Crisp stolen in the first. And right here, Butera trying to catch it and throw at the same time, just got away from him.
No wild pitch. It's ruled a stolen base.
And he would not have had a chance, I don't think, to get Davis there.
So now 1-2 to Carter. His hitless streak to start a major league career, the longest in Oakland history. And he's gone, his 6th strikeout in 12 at-bats. 2 down earlier today. TC was there. There were 3 shovels there, and Bert Blyleven managing one of them.
Yeah, my wife Gail right there, and also Forrest.
That looks like what I know about trees, it looks like an oak tree.
I'm not sure. I didn't find out what kind of tree it was, but we had a great time. And told that there, I believe now there is 132 broken bats. So that's 13,200 trees that have been planted by the DNR.
Well, those look like, what, 3-4 foot tall trees,
said,
not the little saplings.
We planted today a little bit bigger than normal. He said usually they're, a foot to maybe 18 inches high. And Forrest from the DNR is going to be joining us on Thursday next week.
One strike to Pennington. That's to center, Span over and making a tumbling catch in the gap. He took a divot. He also took a double away from Pennington. Sixth inning, the Coors Light freeze can with Pavano using his defense again.
Yes, Denard Span, nice concentration, nice catch as he takes up a little turf to make that final catch out off the bat of Cliff Pennington.
The Frostbrewed Coors Light freeze can. Jason Kubel leads off the sixth. Half swing and strike one. The reason I think he took such a big chunk out of the turf because of all the rain here. I mentioned mid-afternoon today, a cloudburst for about 20 minutes dropped 0.2 of an inch of rain on Target Field. And you could see the turf being relaid out there. And talked with the grounds crew this afternoon. Since Sunday morning, this field has taken 5.8 inches of rain.
Right. Had that big storm come through here and put in about just that one storm 3.5 inches of rain. And
then last night, right after we landed on the charter flight from Chicago, a terrible thunderstorm hit the Twin Cities area again. Larry DeVito, the groundskeeper, said, "Oh, it doesn't really present any more challenges for him." You know, the water that lands here and sifts down through the soil and drains is collected in this big cistern, and then it's reused, recycled when they water the infield. 2-2 to Kubel. And a one-hopper to the first baseman. And Kubel's retired, 1 away. Barton makes the play, and that'll bring up Delman Young.
I'd like to say happy 96th birthday to Evelyn Erickson from Richfield, Minnesota. Happy 96th birthday to you.
And I want to say happy belated 93rd to Ben Nygaard from Brainerd. Here's the Mass Mutual in-game box score.
Well, you can see, Danny Valencia having a very good night at the plate, 2 for 2. He's driven in a couple runs.
That's in-game box score presented by Mass Mutual. 1 strike to Delman Young. Singleton scored his last time up. Got a rain delay now in Chicago, with the White Sox leading the Tigers 6-3. Young singled. Davis overran his single. Young went to second and scored on Valencia's ground rule double. Twins starting the night a game ahead of the White Sox in the Central. And the Tigers trying to get a little traction and climb back into the race. And it might be a do-or-die weekend for them in that regard. 3 games in Chicago against the White Sox. And Young flares on. Ellis with the catch. Out number 2. And that will bring up Valencia, who has delivered an RBI single in the first and an RBI double, and then later a run scored in the fourth.
Gonzalez done a pretty good job. 105 pitches. This may be his last inning. 2 unearned runs allowed in the first inning. When the Twins, thanks to the squeeze play by Drew Butera, added a couple runs in the fourth inning.
Ball 1. Valencia's excelled defensively, making a wonderful play on Mark Ellis's little roller up the line back in the second inning. Another up the line that'll hit the foul line and kick foul. The division gets a little bit thinner every day, it seems, even now that we're into August, in terms of players being traded out of the division. Jose Guillen traded from the Kansas City Royals to the Giants for cash and a player to be named later.
He knew Kansas City was trying to move him, so Kansas City very happy about that. Guillen, a free agent at the end of the year, got a chance to go to postseason. Giants 2.5 games behind the Padres in the American League Western Division.
2-1 to Valencia. Probably no worse fate in baseball for a team right now than to be kind of in between, not in it, not out of it. Because you can't do what the Royals have done. The Royals are out of it, so they'll get something for Jose Guillen, who wasn't part of their long-term solution anyway. Henry Rodriguez warming up. For a team like Oakland, right around the 500 mark, 8 games back, they're kind of hamstrung because you really can't turn the page and look forward to next year because you're still kind of in it this year. There's a high fly to center. Coco Crisp with a long run. He gets there to end the inning. Gonzalez has retired 9 men in a row. Here's the Mountain Dew game summary with the Twins up a pair.
Well, with the game tied 2-2. Danny Valencia hitting a ground rule double. That scored Delman Young. And then a perfectly executed squeeze play by Drew Butera, scoring Valencia for a 2-run fourth inning. And that's where we're at right now with a 4-2 lead for the Twins. And Denard Span, we've seen some very nice defensive plays here tonight behind Carl Pavano. Pavano out there starting his 7th inning. Nothing new to Pavano.
Twins have been out hit 8-3, but they've got a 2-run lead and have never trailed in the game.
You're here by circle.
1-0 to Coco Crispin. Now a strike 1-1. You know, we've, I think, mentioned in Chicago, it bears repeating here, that the Twins considered moving Pavano, not moving him up so much as just having him pitch on his normal rest. The proposal was, there's a bouncer, great stop by Cuddyer, but he'll not have a play. He knocked it down, couldn't control it, and Chris very likely would have beaten Pavano to the bag anyway. So it's a leadoff hit here in the 7th for Coco Chris.
Yeah, might have stopped the extra base hit right here. Cuddyer diving for this ball, and he's able to knock it down. He doesn't knock that ball down. Chris, maybe a leadoff double. So Chris gets his 2nd hit of the ball game. And I mentioned earlier 2 stolen bases, 3 stolen bases by the Oakland A's so far. Chris with one of those stolen bases in the 1st inning.
Barton's reached all 3 times. Anyway, the proposal put forth to both Liriano and Pavano was to have them pitch games 2 and 3 in Chicago. Twins had the off day Monday and had the option of either doing that or doing as they did, just pushing everybody in the rotation back. Pitches up, ball 1. And in both cases, Liriano and Pavano said, you know, we could use the extra day. Let's not jumble things up, skip anybody. We're at the point now where we could really use the extra day. And to the extent Liriano survived some rough innings yesterday, probably a good thing he had that extra day. And Pavano's had to fight through some difficulty here tonight, too.
A lot of people want that extra day, but it does sometimes knock off your rhythm because you're in that every 5-day rotation.
Right. Called at first, and Cuddyer, I think, might have an equipment issue. I don't know whether it's
might have a cut on his hand. Yep. From the
diving for the ball, and Rick McWayne will come out and tend to that.
I'd like to say happy birthday to Donna Burnett from Chaska, Minnesota. Donna's husband has been battling Parkinson's for many, many years, and they never miss a game.
Cuddyer diving for that ground ball off the bat of Crisp, and he gouged himself. Here's the Quest high-speed pitch. Gonzalez at 94, Pavano at 93. And the high-speed pitch brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet.
Take a look at Cuddyer diving for that ball. It's a right hand right there that he kind of slides across the foul line. Rick McWayne doing his miracle wonder.
So Pavano with the leadoff man on, and a 1-1 count to Derek Barton. See, now Cuddyer looks like he's been in the game. He's got dirt, he's got blood on his uniform.
That's my kind of player right there.
It's hit hard to center. Span makes the catch. A line drive out for the first out of the 7th.
Yeah, Barton's put some very good swings on against Pavano. That RBI triple in the 3rd inning, then that base hit in the 5th inning was hit sharply. Hits that ball sharply right to Span.
Don't miss your chance to meet Twins legend and avid outdoorsman Kent Herbeck. Head over to Gander Mountain in Eden Prairie tomorrow from 10:30 to noon. Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on the station events banner for details. Kurt Suzuki. Taking ball 1. Suzuki struck out in the 1st, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, and then lined out to Jason Kubel in right field in the 5th. Looked like Kubel might have had to squint into the lights to make the catch. 1-0. So you take the opposite viewpoint that maybe the extra day could have potentially thrown Liriano and Pavano off their games a little bit.
You know, in today's game, they probably needed the extra day, but Pavano. I think I've seen Pavano last couple starts kind of struggle a little bit with his control, so I don't think it's the extra day. It's just sometimes you go out there and you're hitting your spots, and other days you have a tough time hitting those spots. But you just saw Liriano right there. I thought, what we're seeing, I think Liriano become a young pitcher. He did a great job yesterday.
It's driven to the gap in left center field. Young over. And no catch. No catch. And the throw coming to third, and that'll allow Suzuki to go to second. Third base umpire Andy Fletcher immediately said no catch. And then Young, in throwing to third, allowed Suzuki, the tying run, to go to second.
Good aggressive base running. Now Coco Crisp is running towards second, so he's got the play in front of him. And the ball does bounce into the glove of Delmon Young.
Just about everything hit has been hit hard here lately against Pavano. And Ron Gardenhire coming to the mound here with the tying run at second. Going to make the change with slugger Jack Cust, who has a couple of hits against Pavano already. Due up, Ron Mahay will be asked to try to get the Oakland designated hitter. Target Field, courtesy of Pepsi. If you have tickets, come early. Check out availability for games the rest of the season. Visit twinsbaseball.com and call 800-33-TWINS.
Dick, it's the second game in a row. Remember yesterday, Ron Gardenhire walked out to Liriano before he made a pitching change and asked Liriano how he felt, and they made the pitching change. Here tonight, Gardy did the same thing. No visit by Rick Anderson, the pitching coach. He wanted to go out and ask Carl Pavano, okay, what do you think? How do you feel right now? And Pavano probably maybe saying, hey, I'm a little out of gas right now. So they bring in the left-hander, the only left-hander right now in that bullpen for the Twins, and it's Ron Mahay.
Glenn Perkins will be there in a day or two, but he just started a couple nights ago. And it's the same respect that he showed when he called Pavano and Liriano into his office before the Chicago series and said, hey, what do you guys want to do? And they said, we want an extra day. And in each case, Liriano last night, Pavano tonight saying, I think I'm done. Game's on the line. You better get a fresh arm in.
Well, when you get late in a ball game, you want your pitchers to be honest with you. And that's the big thing. And I think the 2 for 2, hopefully here, Mahay can get the out right here, Jack Cust, that it's going to work.
1-0 to Cust. And a called strike.
Because in yesterday's ball game, Matt Guerrero came in and got the big out of Ramirez to pop up to Casilla for the final out of that 6th inning.
Mayhay holding the lefties to a 230 batting average, righties to a 273, and this is a big lefty to get here. Missing 2-1. Cust had doubled in a run in the third against Pavano and then singled in the fifth. Crisp at third and Suzuki at second.
Yeah, Kevin Kuzminoff on deck, so this might be the only hitter that Mayhay's asked to get out.
He left it inside. It's 3-1. That's not a good number. That's a very high percentage of inherited runners to score. 3-1.
Good breaking ball right there. Good location. Almost has to come back with the same pitch. You don't want to make a fastball mistake to this guy right here. And you mentioned before, he does strike out a lot.
And he's due to do just that.
Yeah, he hasn't struck out yet tonight. Does have a couple hits.
3-2 to Jack Cust. Got him looking. And Mayhay gets the job done, and we'll see if he's asked to get Kuzminoff or not, and it doesn't look that way. So Mayhay comes in and gets a big second out here in the seventh.
Yeah, he went right back to that same breaking ball and got the strikeout.
So Mayhay gets out number 2, and Kuzminoff will hit next.
For your chance to be circled by me at a Twins home game, click on to Circle Me Bert tab to enter and explain why your section should be circled for a chance to spend an evening in the broadcast booth. Winners will be announced the morning before each game on Fox Sports, SportsNorth.com, and KFAN.com. There you go. You are hereby circled.
Matt Guerrero comes into the ball game. The lead on the line. There are 2 outs in the seventh, and Guerrero is asked to get Kevin Kuzminoff.
You know, the bullpen did a great job in that Chicago series. They worked a total of 9 2/3 innings. They gave up only 1 run. And Matt Guerrero got a big out yesterday.
First pitch. Oh, what a catch by Casilla! Alexi Casilla keeps the Twins lead intact. Stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch brought to you by Medica. Pavanos watched two relievers come out of the pen and strand a couple of big runners on base in the 7th inning.
I'll tell you what, Kevin Kuzmanov does not like Alexi Casilla. The last two at-bats, he's made some great plays against Kuzmanov at short.
How many times do you see a guy makes a great play to end the inning and then he leads off the next inning?
Kuzmanov hitting this ball sharply, Casilla making a great play, and I'd say 1 out of every 9 times.
Probably. Yeah. That's a great play, and the Twins have had a handful of really great defensive plays to preserve this 4-2 lead, and Casilla will lead things off. Casilla dropped down a sacrifice in advance of a squeeze bunt by Drew Butera his last time up.
Yeah, new pitcher on the mound for the Oakland A's. That ball wrapped to Kuzmanov at third base. And he says, you know what, take that. Exactly right. You made 2 great plays against me. I'm going to take maybe an extra base hit away from you, Alexi Casilla. Jerry Blevins coming into the ballgame out of the bullpen. One of 2 left-handers, the numbers making his 50th relief appearance. Very good, 3.65 ERA. And you play in because you want to take the bunt away and shortens up your going left to right. But Kuzmanov making a nice play.
Blevins hasn't given up a run in 16 games. He hasn't walked many people. He's been very good. And as good as the Oakland rotation has been, the bullpen has been just as good. 1-0 to Butera. Squaring the bunt and taking a strike.
Only the Tampa Bay Rays have a better combined starter-reliever ERA.
And that's by 1/100th of a point. 1-1 to Butera, who dropped down the squeeze bunt to score the 4th Twins run. Inside, 2-1. The casualty of having Butera as Pavanos' personal catcher. It pushes Mauer into the DH spot and sits Jim Thome. But that said, Tome's available to pinch hit later on in this ballgame if need be. Sharply hit the mound and off the glove of Ellis into center field. So Butera, as he is caught more and more frequently, seems to be getting at least 1 hit in every game.
Yeah, fastball up right there, and he hit it right back up the middle. Good piece of hitting by Butera, off the glove of Ellis. And Butera picking up the 4th hit of the ballgame for the Twins.
And now Span, who's reached twice, once on an error, once on a walk, had a hit taken away from him by Ellis his last time up. That rolls away from Suzuki. And Butera will go to second. Actually, it's going to be a pass ball charged to Suzuki. I think it got there on the fly and then rolled between his legs.
Right here. That ball just getting away from Suzuki, so it will be a pass ball.
Span trying to get Butera in from second base. 1-1. Still raining in Chicago, or at least the delay is still in effect, with Chicago leading Detroit 6-3.
Blevins with a good fastball, big curveball, and a changeup in his 4th season with the A's.
One and 2. Rodriguez warming up again for the A's. Chopped up the first base line. Martin to the bag, out number 2, and Butera to third. Search is on for the Ultimate Twins fan, presented by Autotrader.com. You can visit twinsbaseball.com. Upload a photo, tell your story. You may be selected as the Ultimate Twins fan and get to throw out a ceremonial pitch and take a trip to spring training. The Ultimate Twins fan contest, only at twinsbaseball.com. Here's Hudson. Struck out twice and walked. Inside, ball one.
I thought Gio Gonzalez pitched a very good ball game. He did throw a lot of pitches in a short amount of time, 110 pitches in 6 innings, but 2 of the 4 runs the Twins have been able to put on the board are unearned, both of them coming in that first inning. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. He allowed only 3 hits.
You know, we talked earlier about how the Twins have done well during this 20-game stretch, 15 wins, 5 losses. When you look at the pitchers that did beat them, and the likes of Genmar Gomez, who's been outstanding for the Indians, and Jeremy Guthrie was outstanding again tonight for the Orioles. He shut down the Tampa Bay Rays. Baltimore beat the Rays 5-0. Hudson takes outside 3-1 with Mauer on deck. You mix in Jeremy Hellickson, Jeff Neiman, John Danks. The pitchers who've beaten the Twins have been outstanding pitchers.
Yes, they have.
3-1 to Orlando Hudson. And now 3-2.
Boy, and you look at the positive that's happening in Baltimore right now since Buck Showalter's taken off or taken over.
Gutierrez at third. Hudson trying to get him in with the Twins up a pair. High pop-up near the Twins dugout. And Hudson will get another strike.
See, that might be an out on Oakland right there, but here it's a foul ball. See the foul territory. Wait, well, we don't go to Oakland anymore, do we?
They actually come back here again.
Come back next month. Yep.
Twins have one West Coast stop yet to make in Seattle on the next road trip. Another 3-2 to Hudson. And he walks. He'll get Mauer up with 2 men aboard. So 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Hudson, and Mauer comes to the plate looking for his first hit. So Blevins again has not given up a run in 16 games. And Mauer can put an end to that streak with this at bat. Slice to the left field corner and foul, 1 strike. Mauer came into the game hitting at .327, 30 points behind the league leader, Josh Hamilton. One strike to Mauer. And another foul. 2 strikes. Blevins trying to get Mauer and keep the A's within 2. Bouncer to second. Easy play for Ellis. And the Twins strand a pair, and Blevins' streak continues. On to the 8th. It's 4-2 Twins. Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Any size soft drink or sweet tea is just $1, and every large soft drink comes in a Justin Morneau cup. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By Toyota, it's the Now's the Time sales event at your Toyota dealer. Hurry, offers end soon. And by the fast, reliable, secure, heavy-duty internet from Qwest. Matt Guerrero threw just one pitch to get the Twins off the field in the 7th. Now he delivers strike 1 to Mark Ellis to start the 8th. Ellis with a single and 3 trips, had a hit taken away. Didn't hit the ball hard, but he hit a little roller up the baseline, and Valencia made a great play to retire him in the 2nd.
Yeah, kind of a swinging bunt. And Ellis swinging through a pitch, down and away. So Guerrero getting ahead in the count, 0-2.
Casillas going to have to charge, and he can't field it cleanly. Trying to accelerate everything to try to get Ellis. And Ellis should get credit for a leadoff hit and another leadoff runner aboard for Oakland.
Yeah, I mean, a slow roller right there. Casillas has to come in and almost all in one motion make the throw. So Ellis does get an infield base hit. Casillas right there. Try to get the ball on that little short hop, but just lost the grip of the baseball. The A's get their 11th hit of the ball game.
5th time in 8 innings they've gotten a leadoff hit. And now Davis, who has a hit and a run scored, taking strike 1 from Guerrero. Swing that kicks away from Butera, and Ellis will go to second. And I think they called the count is 1-1.
That should be a wild pitch right there. Charge to Matt Guerrero, the breaking ball. Butera trying to knock it down. It gets away. Allows Ellis to get into scoring position with nobody out.
So 1-1 to Davis. Right off the end of the bat, 1-2. A's out hitting the Twins 11-4. Blocked nicely by Butera. 2-2. Now normally when you have a situation like this, you're out hit 11-4, but you got a 2-run lead. Somebody's hit a home run along the way, but the Twins haven't even done that. Taking advantage of a couple of Oakland errors. They scored 2 in the 1st and then 2 in the 4th. Now Butera and Guerrero to have a chat. Two. Runner at second, nobody out here in the Oakland 8th. Wrapped to third and knocked down by Valencia, and Casillas will have no play. Davis will have an infield hit. And the A's get the tying run aboard with nobody out. Chance for Ellis to advance.
That would have been a great play by Valencia, but he goes over there and just the ball scoots away. It's slowed down right there. And Casillas picks it up. And Ellis has to stay at second base.
Carter 0 for 12 as a major leaguer. He doesn't have the physique of someone who has done a whole lot of bunting. And so he taps one towards Casillas. Out at second, barely. They just barely got the Speedy Davis at second. They got it out and kept the double play in order with Pennington coming to the plate.
Yeah, a little bit off the end of the bat, not hit very sharply. Casillas over to Hudson to get the force out, and no relay throw. Carter getting down that line quickly.
So Casillas made a couple of nice plays at short, getting a forced play at second. He had to make that flip with some authority to get Davis forced out at second. And the double play still in order. Pennington has doubled, lined out to Span, and struck out on the fourth. Outside, ball one. Pennington's got good speed. One of the reasons why in 362 at bats, he has grounded into just 2 double plays. So if you're thinking one good pitch here and the Twins are out of the inning, yeah, it could happen. It's just not likely to happen. 1-1. He fouled it off his front leg, 1-2.
Yeah, good pitch right there. They went inside. Butera sat inside. The ball ended up inside. Watch Butera move. He wants it inside. And the ball down and in. And Pennington keeps it off his feet. How about a strikeout right here for Ben?
1-2. Half swing. Did it go? No. It's 2-2.
Well, he almost got that strikeout. Third base umpire Andy Fletcher saying that he did not go.
And he was right. He didn't go. 2-2. Blocked nicely by Butera, keeping not only Ellis at third, but keeping Carter from advancing into scoring position. Now full count. Don't know much about Carter, other than the fact he hasn't been on base to try to steal a base. So we'll see whether the A's send him here with a full count and 1 away. Full count to Pennington. Runner stays put. Pitch looped down the right field line, and Kadire chasing it. And he can't get there in time. Pennington didn't make solid contact, but he made contact to keep the at-bat alive.
Well, so far in this at-bat, Butera has really sat on the inner half of the plate. And I think that's what they're talking about right here. Do you want to stay inside, or they want to go away? Jesse Crain warming up.
Ramirez only thrown 16 pitches, but this is his 5th batter faced. Another 3-2. And he held his swing, and it's a walk to fill the bases. And Coco Crisp coming to the plate. So they went to a breaking ball on 3-2, and Pennington checked his swing.
Well, Ron Gardenhire's coming out to make a pitching change. That's what they were trying to do. They're trying to get Pennington to swing at that ball down and in, but he held up.
So Guerrero gives up a couple of hits and a walk, leaving the bases full. And Coco Crisp will come up to the plate and hit against Jesse Crain. to tie the game along the way, and another great chance here in the 8th inning.
And someone that's done a great job out of the bullpen over the last couple of months is Jesse Crain, making his 52nd relief appearance. Jesse worked in last night's ball game in Chicago, 1 shutout inning through 15 pitches.
Rare and Mayhay got the Twins out of a predicament in the 7th, and now Crain will try to get a couple of outs here in the 8th and keep the Twins' lead intact. Crisp has a pair of singles in 4 at-bats. Crisp is 0 for 4 in his career against Jesse Crain. Twins hoping to get a double play grounder, but of course Crisp pretty fleet of foot as well. Just 3 ground ball double plays on the season. And a breaking ball over for strike 1.
I remember Coco Crisp when he came up with the Indians. Remember his hands, he tried to play like the piano. Now he's kind of lost that habit, keeping those hands still and his fingers still on the bat.
Swings through the breaking ball. 0-2.
A good hard slider right there, and that's the pitch that has really helped Jesse Crain over the last couple months. That little cut fastball he calls a slider has a little bit of break to it. A little bit, not as much. With the finger movement.
And right to the second base bag. Hudson scoops, fires, double play.
Wow.
Crain gets the job done. And the A's are stymied in the 8th.
Return home to Minneapolis and Target Field. Great ball game between the Twins and the A's, and we're going to break it all down following the last pitch on Quest Twins Live, featuring the Toyota post-game wrap. Talk about Carl Pavano's night and the power of Pavano. Great night for him, 6 1/3, just 2 earned runs in the ball game tonight. Summer squeeze. Drew Butera with an outstandingly, wonderfully executed suicide squeeze in the bottom half of the 4th inning for an RBI. We'll talk about that, and we'll bring you Gardy's post-game press conference live from his office inside the clubhouse at Target Field. All that and a lot more for 30 minutes following the ballgame on Quest Twins Live. Dick Kramer.
Thank you, Robbie and Smikowski. Opening game of a 9-game homestand. Rodriguez finally gets into the ballgame after having warmed up a couple of times. His 11th appearance of the year.
Henry Rodriguez coming into the ball game. Very good fastball. Fastball in the upper 90s. Hard slider to changeup. Making his 11th appearance. Now he's been up and down 4 times with the Oakland A's this year.
He'll face Michael Cuddyer to start the bottom of the 8th. Fastball at the knees.
Fastball clocked here at 98.
Ron Gardenhire talking with Danny Valencia. About positioning. Valencia had one of the hits in the top of the 8th bounce off his glove. Two strikes to Cuddyer. That's checked. Did he go? And Tim McClellan says no.
Again, you saw the limestone behind home plate with that pitch got away from Suzuki where it hit. Ball carried him right back to the catcher. I'm telling you, if I was a pitcher, man on third base, 1 out, no outs, I'd work on that.
And Cuddyer again checks his swing. 2-2.
See, if Cuddyer was up and there's a runner at third right now, I'd throw the ball behind him and hit that just left of that target sign on the limestone, and that ball would carry him right back to my catcher, and we throw out that runner.
Now, what if he hit the bullseye and it bounced all the way up the right field line?
If I hit the bullseye where that angle is, I'm going to hit one of those 3 guys right there. I want to hit it right in that area, right in there. There's a bullseye.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not flush there. I mean, you could hit the edge of one of the rings.
I would have him move the bullseye over a little bit.
And they do that for you because you're Bert Blyleven. Chopper to the right side, 1 away. Cuddyer retired for the first out of the 8th. Time for the Coors Light. Cold, hard blast. And we're going to go back to last night. The game-breaking home run for Kubel.
Oh, this coming in the 7th inning. The Twins had a 3-1 lead, but off of Gavin Floyd, he finally connected after Kubel had struck out a couple times against Floyd. Got a breaking ball up and didn't miss it.
Tonight, a walk, a strikeout, a ground ball to first for Kubel. Telling us they're still got a rain delay in Chicago. White Sox leading 6-3. They got a rain delay in Kansas City with the Royals leading the Yankees 4-3.
Rain all over. We're pretty lucky again.
Yeah, we were. So far, anyway. Big swing by Kubel and a foul, 1-1.
We've had, 1 rain out. That was against the Orioles. We played the day-night doubleheader the next day, and then against the Yankees.
The suspended
game. That's been it.
And in the case of the Oriole rainout, they made the call early enough in the day by mid-afternoon. So, I mean, the fans didn't come here, and at least most of them didn't.
Right.
1-1. And Kubel drops a base hit into right field, right off the end of the bat for a 1-out single. And for the Twins, just their 5th hit on the night. The Twins are celebrating our diversity. Next Thursday night, the White Sox are in town. Come out early for a pregame filled with performances that will celebrate our unique cultures. And the first 10,000 fans will get a baseball card featuring Hall of Famer Chief Bender, a Native American and Native Minnesotan. So we celebrate our diversity night coming up on Thursday, presented by Prairie Island Indian Community. And for more details, call 800-3320.
There's Jason Repko running for Jason Kubel at first base, and he'll take over for him in right field, I'm sure.
There's Delman Young. High fly left center field. Crisp over. Out number 2. So Young gone on a pitch. That'll bring up Valencia. Again, after the game, 10-15 minutes after the game, I believe, will be the fireworks show, and you can follow it on FoxSportsNorth.com. Here's Valencia. A couple of run-producing hits for the rookie. A single driving in a run in the first, a double, ground rule double, driving in a run in the fourth, and then he came in on the squeeze play, put on by Ron Gardenhire and executed by Drew Butero. That's to the backstop, and now Repko will go to second.
I wouldn't try that with a runner at first. I would only try it with a runner at third. You have to hit the limestone. You can't hit that right there. See how the wall just kind of dies.
Well, Valencia can drive in another run here if he can get a hit to the outfield. Repko with good leg speed. Now in scoring position with 2 out. Side, great stop by Kuzmanov, and he throws him out. A great stretch at first by Derek Barton. Seen some errors in the game to be sure tonight, but boy, we've seen some sensational defensive plays.
Have we not? Wow.
Toyota game reset. The Twins handing a save opportunity to their new closer, Matt Capps.
Yeah, Danny Valencia at third base having a very nice play, not only offensively but defensively. He's made some nice plays. Well, Pavano worked the first 6 1/3 innings. Let's see if Matt Capps can pick up his third save in a Twins uniform.
Derek Barton will lead things off. Capps has been effective and durable. Pitch line to right. Kubel with a catch. One away.
That's Repko.
I beg your pardon, in right field.
Got 1 pitch, 1 out. Gotta love that.
Another line drive out. There have been a whole bunch of those for both teams tonight. And the A's out hitting the Twins 12-5. But they're down to their last 2 outs.
Well, Capps, of course, coming over from the Washington Nationals in a trade on July 29th.
Suzuki 1 for 4 with a run scored. Pitch is up, ball 1. Right down the middle of strike. Breaking pitch. How would you compare what we've seen from Capps to compare him to Jeff Reardon in terms of his pitches? Now, Reardon, had a breaking pitch, but his fastball was his bread and butter pitch, and I think the same can be said for Capps.
Right. I like the way he attacks the same way that Jeff Reardon did. You know, he'll come right at you. You're going to beat me, you're going to beat me, you know, right away. He's not going to walk anybody. Maybe a little slider right here. Watch Butera. Now they're going to go inside.
Drilled to left center field. Span's going to have to hustle to cut it off. He knocks it down. Suzuki goes to second with a double. So they came inside. Suzuki was waiting for it, and he drove it hard to the gap.
Well, they didn't get it in as far as I think that, you know, probably Butera and Katz wanted that pitch, and it allowed Suzuki to open up and get his second straight hit. His 11th double of the year. Yeah, ball had too much of the plate, pretty much right down the heart of the plate.
So now Cust, who's up there thinking one thing here, and that is to tie the game.
I think he's up there all the time, no matter what the score is, thinking about one thing in mind.
Down by 6?
Yeah.
One out, one on. And Capps delivers low, ball 1.
Well, he does have a little sink on his fastball, a little movement. Ball to strike.
Oh for 1 in his game tying attempt. One and 1 to Jack Cust. That's looped to center. Casilla with a nice catch. Out number 2. 2 down. Kuzma coming up, and some Jimmy John's deliveries of the game.
Yeah, we really have Mark Ellis, Valencia making a nice play. How about every play that Casilla has made here tonight has been a great night.
We've had some really good defensive plays. We've had some errors. Some base running mistakes, a little bit of everything. All that said, Capps is 1 out away from pinning down another Twins win. Kuzmanov. Off the outside edge, ball 1. Kuzmanov has been robbed of hits twice. Fine plays by Alexi Casilla. Lined out with 2 men in scoring position and 2 out in the 7th. Tapper left side. Off the glove of Casilla and into left field. And the game will continue with Suzuki scoring, and it's 4-3. So even Casilla, who's turned in 3 or 4 really nice defensive plays, tries to backhand one to end the game, but can't.
I think that ball right there, he tried to play off to the side and then throw it all in one motion. Waited back on that little short hop, and the ball hits off his glove and Karam's into left field.
Casilla charged with an error. Earlier, Hudson was charged with an error. Each team with a pair of miscues.
Yeah, for Casilla, that's his first error of the year.
And Ellis will come up. And the pinch runner for Oakland is Steve Tollison, former Twins farmhand. So Tollison at first, 2 outs, and here's Mark Ellis.
Tollison just getting called up.
And Ellis takes down and away, ball 1. To center, a base hit. Tollison to second. He'll hold up there, and the tying run is in scoring position. Ellis has his 3rd hit. They've all been singles. And now Rajai Davis will have a chance.
And Davis has a couple hits in his last at bat.
And again, As you said before, too much of the plate with the fastball. Comes Rick Anderson. The first out was hit on a line. Suzuki's double was crushed. Cust hit a little chip shot caught by Casilla. Kuzminoff with a two-hopper off Casilla's glove, and now Ellis strokes a solid single to center. And the game falls into the hands of Rajai Davis.
A lot of fastballs from Capps, and that's what you're going to get. But normally what we've seen is he's, thigh down, and he's left some pitches up that the A's have hit pretty hard. Oakland with 14 hits in the ball game. Twins with only 5.
Twins won 2 out of 3 in Oakland a long time ago. Every game decided by a run. Yep. And now this game is a one-run game with the Twins in front. Davis with singles his last 2 times up. Fly ball, center field. Span has it measured.
That was a great job by Rick Anderson, the pitching coach. What a visit.
Another one-run ball game between Oakland and Minnesota. And Anthony, the Twins started the night a game in front of the Chicago White Sox. Pending the outcome of their game, they've got a game-and-a-half lead in the Central.
And they kick off a 9-game homestand with a win at Target Field. We'll show you how they did it. We'll break down the night of Carl Pavano, show you how the Twins used a squeeze bunt to score a huge run next on